Hello, everybody. Lighting is a little dicey right now, but bear with me. We have a great Women Crush Wednesday today for those of you that are looking to start your own company, facing your fears, in kind of taking a chance on something. Her name is Valerie Welebir. She owns a company called Bakabuchi. Bakabuchi. It's a clothing company. And she had to take some risks to get there. So I'm really excited. Let's have her jump on and kind of Valerie, who is a dear friend of mine and is just inspiring. She has 2 kids. I don't know how she does it. There she is. What's up, girl?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my! I mean, it's a no-brainer. First of all, you've always been somebody that has shown so much empathy in our time together.
Yes.
And the fact that you started this company and you've been so transparent about how challenging it is to start a company and taking a chance and believing in yourself. I mean, these are all the themes that I myself have struggled with. And so, okay, come on. Okay. My pup wants to say hi.
Oh, I had to put mine out. I was like, no, we cannot join today. My little one is out too. I had to send everyone out of the house just to have a little bit of me time for this call.
And that's what's probably so hard is as a mom of 2 amazing little kids.
Thank you.
When do you find the time to pursue the things that matter to you too? You know, that's the challenge.
No, it's true. This has been, I can give you a little bit of background. So Bakabuchi actually is something very endearing to me. It means little rascals. My grandmother is Bolivian and she has almost 30 grandkids. So she used to call us Los Bakabuchis. And so that's how the whole name came about. But it has, to just jump right in, it has been a real challenge. It's, not only, we started this company where it was a side hustle. I was putting my husband through school. I had to be the breadwinner. I had to be the person just focused on maintaining stability for us. And then in addition, trying to make this, passion and dream come true. So it definitely has been challenging, but all challenges have its rewards. I've learned so much. I've enjoyed it. And I think that's all you can really hope for when you start something on your own.
Yeah. And that's why you've always been someone so inspiring to me, because I look to you, and just, like I said, your heart is very big, but also you're pursuing your dreams. And if you can go back just a little bit and describe, what is Bakabuchi, and then what made you decide, because you also have a history, you worked for Saks for many years, and I think I want people to also know a little bit, because people that are tuning in, the big theme for me this week with you is against all odds, in scary moments, you are pursuing your dream and you're good at it. Like, your product is amazing. It's incredible. We'll repost it so people can see. But I think the inspiring thing here is, yes, a lot of people are kind of take from you, your children, of course, your husband needs support, your friends need support, your family needs support. How do you make time to pursue the things that matter to Val? So let's go back and just what's the history of your career in the sense that you started off? I mean, not started off, but you've worked with Saks for many years, right?
Yes. So I have been in fashion for my whole career. So I worked at Macy's, and then I worked at Saks most of my career, on and off, for almost 10 years in their buying offices. So my whole background has been very much into merchandising and buying. And so I had a career path. We were in New York City. I moved from LA to New York, East Coast, when I was 23. So I literally was a kid, moved to New York, and I started my career, and I thought I would always I enjoyed it. I wanted to climb the corporate ladder. Then my husband kind of had a different, we got married and moved, and then he had a different path. So I had been working for Saks for the whole 5 years we had been in New York. And then he decided to go back to medical school, which took us to Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. And there is where I found out I had an entrepreneurial spirit. I didn't have a place there that really, I felt good at or I felt was me. So, I took that, just time away to be able to realize that I wanted to do something on my own. I was tired of, trying to build something for other people. So I started Bakabuchi there with inspiration and support from friends I made there. And it really was a time. I had just turned 30. My friends were having kids. Everybody, I was trying to buy gifts for everyone. And when I started that process, that's when I learned that at that point, there wasn't anything in the market that represented who I was or, my aesthetic or my, just color palette, really, when you think about my kids. So it was, something that it came later in life. It wasn't something I knew I had, when I was younger. So I'm enjoying that process. And I had, but like I had said, I had to.
Sorry, the phone's ringing.
No, it's fine.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Sorry, so annoying. It's like, you can hear a voicemail from somebody in the family in a moment. But
no, it's totally fine.
But that's amazing. So it was born out of necessity in the sense that you wanted to give your friends who were having kids a product that you didn't see available.
Yeah.
And describe what Bakabuchi is, because it's such a cool company, and I know people that are tuning in have interest in if they wanted to start their own, fashion company or just their own business in general. I think you have a really cool story to tell.
Yeah, no. So Bakabuchi, I started a direct-to-consumer business is how we launched. And we really focused on, it's almost like what we called a capsule collection for babies. We had only 0 to 24 months. It was giftable. I made this beautiful custom box that we no longer have available, but it used to be like part of our ethos. And so it was something that we wanted to make sure we had foundations for moms. So, you didn't feel everything from, one. We wanted to make it easy. So you bought a capsule, for kids. You had a top, a bottom, a onesie. So whenever you put it on, it was like an outfit in one. And then the second thing we focused really, and we didn't play this up enough because we were a young company. This launched in 2014. And so we always had organic, natural materials. We wanted to make sure it was, safe for babies to wear and wanted to wear all day. So we had the softest materials we could find and sourced. And so it took us a while to get there, but it definitely was our focus, was making sure that from silhouette, it wasn't something you just bought and threw away. This was something that I have had my stuff for my son, and I've passed it down to my daughter. So you want to be able to live, have it live throughout seasons and with different people. Our idea is not to have it be fast fashion. And, that was something that was kind of growing when we launched, was this slow fashion idea. And that is what we took to kids.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. And for you, though, I think, the thing that I've taken from you is that the odds stacked against you, or, believing in yourself, believing that this is a product that a lot of moms love, and you get great feedback. I mean, your product, and we'll post it, Bakabuchi is amazing. It's adorable. It's super authentic. Your story is inspiring. For those people that are like wanting to take a chance on their dream, their goal, the thing that they've been wanting to do, for you, what advice would you give them that's worked for you? Because, I love our honest conversations that like It's scary. It's scary to decide to roll the dice, to take a chance. You have 2 kids, you know. How do you navigate that?
No, and I would say for anyone really wanting to start something, I think the hardest part is starting. Everybody said, like, they were really shocked I started something. And I was like, I guess for me, I never, you have to take that first step. And it really is not, when you are having an idea and you have a concept in your mind, it's never going to be perfect. And I think people try to get perfection. You're going to get there eventually, and you will make, I made so many mistakes, and we have, as a company, I have my partner, and she and I are like, okay, that didn't work. But I feel like a lot of people they just, they don't know how to start that process. And I think there's a lot of online support now, which has been where we were able to actually start small, and starting small is okay. Finding those manufacturers that are working to work with someone selling 25 units, not 1,000 units. We were lucky. We started with a great manufacturer here in the States, and we stayed. We're not with, the first ones we started with, but we've always stayed in the US because we don't want overconsumption. I don't want to have, 1,000 pieces on my site so that you guys can just, choose what you want at a lower cost. And we really want it to be focused. And I think when people start something, it's hard to focus and hone in on like what your core is going to be. And I think that's really important, understanding what your core is going to be and then building on that. Because when you start a company, those are the foundational pieces that will get you to the next part of your collection. Like, those are the pieces that you should have be seasonless, that you should have, people want to buy every time they have a gift to give or every time they have a little one, and we actually expanded to adults this season. So it was something new and crazy. And, we are trying to navigate that growth because we have never produced for adults. So we're trying to, there's so many things that go into that customer that we're still learning.
By the way, you're so good. Like, you're so fantastic. You're just so good at speaking.
No.
You're so vulnerable. I just need to take a second to say thank you because I appreciate you so much in my life. You've guided me in so many different ways as a career woman and just even being a modern woman. There's so much pressure on women today that we talk about that's why I love doing these Women Crush Wednesdays, because they're really just my way of saying, like, I see you, thank you for your contribution because we need more of this.
But, I know. I was going to say, it's really hard. It's hard. I love supporting other people. And I think sometimes finding people that are that sincere about helping each other out is hard sometimes. So for me, I'm honest. If someone reaches out to me from this, video, then I will help them as much as I can. I'm always willing to help other people. And I feel like it's not a competition of who's doing it better. I think there's enough for everyone. So it should be women helping women, anyone helping anyone. I do support every person that I try to meet, but I do appreciate that because I feel like sometimes you can get lost in trying to build yourself. You can get lost, and so having other sincere women is important to your life, and I appreciate that you're saying that.
I think you're absolutely right. You can get so lost because Instagram, right? That's the platform we're talking on. Mm-hmm. Can become so defeating in the sense of, like, am I doing enough? You get comparison imposter syndrome when you see these people posting really just their highlight reel and they don't talk about the real, which is what, I started this podcast that I was like, I'll never do a podcast. And now I go to this podcast and I love it because it's these kinds of conversations with women. And the goal for me with all of this is really because I have gone through so much trauma, loss, emotional. I mean, you guys were there for me during this time. Your husband, Morgan, is a doctor, but also walked the same path with his dad in the challenges that come up. And you're just trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you mean by saying you can get really lost because you see everybody else. I remember when I had just lost my dad, and I'm like, people are just being people. And it's crazy because, like, my whole world crashed down, and I'm driving on the freeway, and this guy's cutting me off. And I'm like, it's just crazy.
You know what I'm feeling.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And so I just think being like, you're the quintessential modern woman because you're trying to do a lot. And then what I think for me is, when do you take time for Val? And and of course I've ran out of time because I could talk to you for hours. How do you show up for Val as a mom of two and a business that takes time and a family life that takes time? The last question I want to ask for you is, like, where does self-care and Val work out in this busy modern mom life?
I know. It's hard. I really have been trying. I'm doing my best to take an hour out of my day to go work out. I have a shoot, and she demands so much time, but I really am trying to get back into, making sure that I'm okay. I do like alone time because I work from home and I am mom. And so, it's always, Mom, can you help me? Mom, 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 which I love. But, some alone time in the car is always so amazing. But I have been doing an hour each day just to either work out, I have an alone time, or I go get coffee by myself, something that can really reset me, because you have these little people you're trying to shape, form, and it can take everything out of you. Last night I had a 3 a.m. wake up time, and I had to deal with my little one, and so it's a daily grind where you're just making sure that you do have a little time for yourself. But I can't believe how fast that time went. I don't have a clock, but it's insane. But I do appreciate you having me on. You know how uncomfortable I am in the line. I know my partner and I were like ghosts to Bakabuchi. We're always in the background. She's also a mom. We're always hustling. So I appreciate you taking me out of, my comfort zone and letting me talk a little bit about me.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's why I took a moment to say I see you, because you're doing such a good job as a vocal representative of a company just by being yourself. And so thank you for trusting me and jumping on, because A, I know you're really busy, and B, I know that this isn't you don't want to be, you want to be in the behind the scenes. And I think your story and what you represent actually resonates with so many women in today's society and what they're dealing with. So you nailed it. I love you. Of course you were going to be good. I was not at all worried about this, but you're so humble. And you need to be on camera more often. So
I will try. I'm going to try. I'm trying. Instagram's really making me try to do more of that. All of us, for small businesses. I know everybody wants to know a little bit of behind the scenes. No, I am. I'm going to be more on if anybody is a Bakabuchi fan out there. So we are going to be doing more and more videos. And
Yes, exactly. Like, there's your story. There's so much we can learn from just by being yourself, So that's the goal that I have with these Women Crush Wednesdays, because women, I believe, have been impacted by the pandemic the most, whether it's because they own a small business or because then they had to be the homeschool teacher, kids at home. Who does the burden fall on? The shoulders of mom or the woman. So nothing against guys.
Go on and on and on and on and on about that. I know. 4 months at the start of the pandemic. It was rough. It was rough.
It was, and we would go on hikes and we would talk about it, and it was brutal. It was brutal.
Oh, well overdue. We need to do another one.
Yes, margaritas soon. Yeah. And you're amazing. Thank you so much, Val.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Okay. Bye, Val.